Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'll do another video for you. Though I don't know how much time we're going to have left before I'm going to be talking to nobody and won't be able to talk at all on the internet. There's a tendency among our economic leaders, the big corporations, and even the government, especially Trump, they have the system of get all the money you can and then bail, abandoning your customers, abandoning your employees, and just take the money and run. Isn't there a song like that? Let me see if I have that song. I should have that song. Take the money. Yep, Take the Money and Run, Steve Miller Band. And I should remember to put that as the song in the description for you to listen to if you don't like listening to me. Take the Money and Run. And so, yes, even the church has done that to us. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has taken the money, the hundreds of billions of dollars, and they closed the church, closed the temple, closed Temple Square. They still have Welfare Square open through the bishop storehouses, but they've limited that. They weren't prepared purposely. They're a corporation. They want to make money. They aren't interested in saving human lives so that they can collect more protectionist tithing money from them. They've got plenty now. Which always was weird. If you're greedy for money, why not continue to get as much as you can out of people? I did redesign. I didn't redesign. I designed a better Amazon than Amazon. And that was while I was locked up. The church locked me up in 2008 because I filed a lawsuit against them. So they got the government to turn on me instead, rather than responding to my lawsuit. So much for the First Amendment, huh? And while I was locked up, I designed Amazon. Better than Amazon. More inclusive than Amazon. And I was trying to figure out ways in which the company would make trillions of dollars, not just billions. Billions is petty cash. And so now I get out, I find all these different online things in Amazon, and I'm like, oh, okay, they've already done it all, it's just all separated. And then Amazon tries to include other stuff, but it's going to go off. There it goes. Volume's too low for you to hear it, I guess. And and so that's got to be discouraging for Mormons, as the church strings them along still. Oh, we're going to have a pre-recorded conference for you. You'll have to stay at home and watch it on the internet. But again, what's going to happen? We all know what's going to happen. You've been fired. You're trying to get on welfare. In Utah, it takes 2 weeks before they start sending you money, or 2 months before they start sending you money. And I forgot the title. Russell M. Nelson infects Jesus Christ with coronavirus on hundreds of billions. And then this one will be something about Russell M. Nelson taking the money and running. But I've been warning you guys for years now, and now we're in the dark period. We're almost done. Armageddon is near the end, and no, it's not a good thing. We'll be lucky if we survive, because with coronavirus, we're all fired. We're forced to stay at home. As all our businesses have taken the money from the stock market and run, and they've closed up and run, just like the church did. They followed the same exact pattern as everybody else, when they could have been the leaders to step up and say, hey, we're saving America. We're saving all you other nations that we're in. Nope. Weren't prepared. They didn't have fruit in this time of the season, and so everybody starves to die. And that's the parable, guys. I mean, where do you think what the parable of the wolf in sheep's clothing and by their fruits you shall know them? What is Jesus talking about? False prophets. The Mormons don't want to come to grips with that their prophets could actually be false. It just doesn't compute. As if there's some kind of robots or something. I mean, sheep can understand when they're being beaten. So, yeah. Once people, I mean, the grocery stores, we've already seen all the grocery store problems. We all know. Grocery stores can't keep up with supplies, and so when I went to the grocery store this past week, I was looking for ketchup, no ketchup, and so I had to buy barbecue sauce and pay extra money, and tortilla shells were also gone, all the mac and cheese was gone, all the instant meals were gone, the hamburger helpers stuff, gone. And that's what we're having to face now. I mean, we have to hope that the items we're looking for will be available for us, because the grocery stores were just not prepared. A basic necessity item to keep people alive, and they weren't prepared. If we make it until you guys get welfare, Social Security, it's not going to be what you were used to getting at your job. In Utah, it's less than minimum wage. Are you able to live on less than minimum wage? I can afford the internet with what I still receive. But all the millions who are not able to afford Comcast or DirecTV or AT&T or, any internet provider. Internet starts going down when companies aren't getting money. And so they do it on a monthly bill. And so, if not the end of this month, the end of April, definitely. People will start dropping internet service because they just can't afford it. They need food to live. And when that happens, Comcast is what I currently have. If Comcast loses too many people, they're going to say, we have to close. We're not making any money anymore. So they're taking the money and running. And leaving all of us stranded without a connection to the outside world. We'd have to rely on the local news through the free system, free cable. And I guess we'd have to figure out a way to make it switch, because what a mess that would be. But Yeah, it's going to get ugly, guys. I mean, we won't have a knowledge of what's going on. We won't know if we can go back outside and go back to work, look for a new job, because that's what we'd have to do. You guys would have to look for a new job if you survived. But again, as businesses close, the grocery stores will continue to be fluctuating on what food is available, and there's no telling how long they're going to be able to last, because they rely on employees. If their employees get sick, we're out of luck. My bank, they've cut it down so that I can't access my bank anymore. I have to make an appointment or do other sorts of jumping through hoops. And so I have to do some emergency financial adjustments so that I can get money, because we're all dependent on money. As I talked about in the other video. And our economy it's already crashed. We're in a depression. And businesses aren't going to want to continue if they can't make a profit. And we've already lost a whole ton of it. And so all of the entertainment, it's gone. And the future entertainment on streaming services, you'll be cutting those out because you want to survive and have money for food. And there won't be any new stuff anyway, so it'd be worthless to have a streaming service not too long in the future. And we will not recover from this, because Trump has taken the money that he's gotten from foreign governments and he's running. He's destroying the system so that he can run away and get away with it. That's what he's been doing with his casinos, his stakes, his university, his charity. He takes money and runs. And when people sue him, he sues them back, and he doesn't pay. He's not going to pay for what damage he's caused. And with the church, they're taking their money, they're running. Church is closed, temple's closed, everything's closed in the church. You can try going to your bishop for food orders, but I can tell you right now, the church can't handle the national emergency. And I don't know how they're going to handle that. But it's not going to last too much longer. But at least you guys are able to get some food assistance from the church if you're thinking about it. But there are those of us who can't. And the church bishops will say, well, get from your family first. The Doctrine and Covenants specifically says children have claims on their parents, then the church's storehouse. There's nothing about aunts and uncles and grandparents and distant cousins. That's a tradition that's happened because the church doesn't want to give charity. I'm not allowed to go to the church for charity. They won't let me. They say, well, come back to church. They extort church if I want to get assistance. They refuse to give and make all sorts of excuses not to give. So good luck if you can get money or get food from the church. More power to you. That's what the church has done. They've taken the money and they're running. And whoever's alive when it's all done, they'll regroup and start things up again. And notice, in 2024, Salt Lake Temple will be reopened again. Unless they keep having more earthquakes.